The name of my project is Eggshells. It started as a workshop during my master's. I started right away prototyping. We were going to try with some recipes and modifying them. I confess I didn't want to use eggshell at the beginning. I thought it was a boring material. But then 2 weeks later, I saw it became like cement, like a ceramic. I realized I liked the texture and the color and everything about this material. So I started doing some experimentation and came up with very beautiful shapes and tried different colors. I let the material speak for me. This was during the pandemic. I had to do this at home. I improved the recipe and came up with this type of shapes. Super dynamic and versatile material. As it is made of natural components, it is biodegradable. There is a confusion between this concept, biodegradable and compostable. They are not the same. In this case, gelatin and the eggshell act as a nutrient for the soil. So it can be compostable. Also, the process for my master's project, it was very fun actually. I wanted it to be 3D printed because I had experience with 3D modeling. So I started to use a syringe and realized that I could extrude the material through it. Then we had this time in a workshop where I was able to use a 3D printer and came up with these beautiful pieces. I call them my masterpieces because it was like an epiphany for me. This was the first time that I created something for it to be 3D printed. And also it's very important to find the properties of the material because as a material designer, we need to know how to manipulate the material. And for us to know how to manipulate it, we need to know their properties. So we need to test it in order for us to give them the best application possible. So in this case, it behaves a bit like a cement or a ceramic. So it is fragile, but also has very high compressive strength. When I knew the properties of my material, I wanted to give it a different purpose other than creating tiles. So I looked for what was the function of a real eggshell, and I came up with this idea of an eggshell gives protection to the egg. So I wanted to emulate nature in this way, and I created this kind of armor cuirass thing in a way to like protect our bodies, or maybe I was wondering if I could use it as a packaging material. It is not for a packaging, it was just like the concept, more like a metaphor. And about the scalability of this project, it has the potential to be used for industry purposes, but in order for me to get into this, I will have to maybe to improve the recipe for mass production. Right now, this recipe is not suitable for scalability, but it has the potential. Here, I am showing you the cycle of the material, and this is the idea of the circular economy, trying to bend the linear lifetime of a product into a cyclical process so we can give waste a different definition. Maybe we can change the word to surplus because we are using it as a nutrient for the creation of other products. We are reincorporating, reintroducing the material into the process.